Welcome back. Well, you made it to the third session together. That's exciting. I'm hoping that your practice with the breath and of reconnecting to a space of stillness has been helpful for you and that you've been able to try and practice it in your life. So today we're going to learn how to shift our mindset from the inside out. So basically, let me give you a very quick explanation of quantum physics. Basically, what you believe is what you create, to make it really simple. Our thoughts are energy, and everything is made out of energy. So what we end up creating inside of ourselves ends up creating a terrain that has a certain vibrational frequency. And this vibrational frequency will attract and resonate with vibrational frequencies that match it. It's like, if you think of in those science museums, there's this little thingamabobber that's basically all these little balls, metal balls that are hanging, and you pull one ball and then you let it hit the other ones, and then they start swinging, and maybe in the beginning they're a little off, and at some point they'll all start syncing together, right? And it kind of does that on its own. And even another example would be like the chords of a guitar. If you play a chord or you play a single note and there's another guitar in the room, that guitar will actually resonate the sound of the other guitar without you even playing it. So there is the fact that what we put out is kind of what's going to come back to us. So if we end up living our lives thinking that the world is a scary place, we will probably end up creating events that are scary and where we do need to protect ourselves. If we go about life imagining and feeling that something is beautiful and that we are filled with gratitude for the abundance that we receive daily in our lives, we actually end up creating more of that. It is about the law of manifestation, but even more than just positive thinking, it's actually about becoming who you want to be in your life before it's happening. So it's like the actual state of who you are ends up creating the life that you end up becoming, if that makes sense. So let's do another little visualization, because the visualizations help us get into that theta state, which is a certain vibration of the brain that allows us to kind of rewrite our neural pathways in a way that is not cognitive, because when we're just working with the cognitive part here, it actually doesn't sink into our body in a embodied form. So I'm going to have you once again get comfortable, sit up or recline, lay down, and let's connect to the breath. Okay, and as you're connecting to your breath, noticing the sensations of the breath that comes in your nose and comes out your nose. Also noticing this expansion of your lungs. Noticing your chest rise and fall with each breath. And taking the time once again to check in with your emotions, your feelings. Were your needs met today? What are your needs today? Have you been able to fill some of those needs that everyone needs, like self-care, sense of satisfaction, fulfillment, perhaps a sense of ease, sense of joy, sense of appreciation or connection, belonging? Are all those needs met? And notice maybe if any of those needs haven't been met recently. See if you can pinpoint one or two of those. So it's not a need that's based on a strategy. A strategy is like saying, I didn't take my bath today. So that would be the strategy, but the actual need is perhaps self-care or cleanliness, for example. So just notice and try to find the need behind the strategy of what you might be desiring, what you might be needing. If you're tired, maybe it's you're needing relaxation, rest. If you're feeling a little lonely, maybe you're needing more connection. So firstly, I'd like you to notice the needs that you're feeling now. It's easier for us as humans, strangely enough, to focus on the things that don't work or the things that we don't have, and things that are going wrong. So I want you to just bring that up and kind of notice what that is. And from there, I want you to deduct what need you would need, what need you would need. So try and find the positive sense of what's lacking. If you're feeling stressed, busy, maybe what you're needing is time, rest, relaxation, spaciousness. You're feeling a lot of pressure, social obligations. Maybe you're needing a sense of autonomy, freedom. Just try and hone in on what that need might be. Now I want you to take a couple of those words, whatever those might be. Maybe it's autonomy, freedom, choice, relaxation, rest, whatever those might be. And I want you to envision them. To really take that word and just imagine like that word is some sort of lovely balm just covering your whole body from the head down to your feet. Perhaps the word is rest or freedom, whatever that word is. I want you to, as you inhale, I want you to imagine that that's coming up into your body. And it's filling up your whole body, and as you exhale, it's just being showered over your entire body, from your head all the way down to your feet. I want you to just fully embody and enjoy the sensation of taking in this quality, this need being fulfilled into your body. And now I'd like you to take that feeling, that quality, and I want you to find an image for it. Maybe start with a color, for example, and then maybe that will go to an image. So take each one of those qualities and just let yourself intuitively find that object or that symbol or that image that symbolizes the feeling of that quality. So perhaps if the quality or need I'm desiring is more joy, maybe that my imagery is a yellow duckling in a pond. I don't know. And so I want you to just take in the image of that quality. And as you look at it in your mind's eye, just really embodying that even more and bringing that image into your body as part of yourself. It belongs to you. It is part of who you are. Maybe it's something as big as the ocean. I want you to almost imagine as there's like a big, like a bubble that goes around this thing that you're imagining, almost like a big net. And as you pull that net in, it just kind of comes and dissolves into your being, and that becomes part of who you are. Okay, do that with each one of those qualities. And now I want you to tell yourself, I am what? So if my word was rest and freedom, for example, I'd say to myself, I am rest. I am freedom. And I want you to say it out loud. And I want you to say it multiple times until you notice an emotion that arises. So say it with feeling, and say it like embodying completely that feeling in every cell of your body. And as you say that, say it with so much intention that it brings an emotion for you. Say it out loud. Each time as you say it now, I want you to even allow yourself to expand that into a body position. For example, if my imagery is this little yellow duckling that represents joy for me, and as I think of joy and I say, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, and I just let myself, those words give myself a posture or a gesture, and perhaps it's this, I am joy, I'm joy, I'm joy. And let yourself feel that. And notice if it's hard. Notice if you find yourself mocking yourself, or if there's any self-talk that's critical of what you're doing. And know that that's a good indicator. That might be one of the reasons why that's not coming into your life. Because some of those belief systems are actually the things that are keeping us from being able to manifest what we want. So when you start observing emotions in difficult, challenging situations, I want you to observe your mind and observe what are the things you're repeating to yourself. What are you telling yourself about this situation? Perhaps it's maybe you're feeling like somebody's mean. Maybe you're feeling like the world is harsh or the world is backwards. And how many times are you reinforcing that in your mind? What are the news things that you're looking at? What is the social media that you're looking at to keep reinforcing those thoughts daily, so that the more you reinforce them, the more you're creating them in your life? So as you're doing these exercises around honing in on what do you actually want? If we focus all the time on what we don't want, we'll create more of what we don't want. If we focus on what we do want, that gives the opportunity for us to be able to create what we do want. So my challenge to you is to focus on the feelings of what you want and become them before the rest of life ends up following suit. If you want to manifest, for example, a house, and you know all these things you don't want about the house you're living in, focusing constantly on all the things you don't like, or that person, that relationship, all the things you don't like about him, you're going to keep reinforcing that day after day, and you'll be miserable. So get really clear on what you do want. And as you imagine the feeling of what you want, become that feeling. And don't settle for anything less. Keep trying to attract that feeling, that sensation, and hold on to that sensation no matter what you do. And as you're holding on to it, that is what you're going to create in your life. So happy manifesting, happy mindset shift, and looking forward to potentially supporting any of you who may need more guidance to change, heal, and manifest the life you deserve and to be your greatest potential in this world.